Hello everybody, it's Ryan Buell here at the Provo Shooting Sports Complex, and today we're actually doing the Utah County Service Rifle Club's annual 250th birthday match of the United States Army. So this is going to be a sanctioned service rifle match held by this club here, but we're at the beautiful Shooting Sports Complex. We thank the city of Provo and Parks and Rec that this is all run by them. This is all their employees and volunteers that make this happen to keep everything safe and responsible and fun for the enjoyment of future generations to continue to enjoy our Second Amendment and firearms. We're going to be showing you today kind of an intro to this beautiful range and venue, but also how a service rifle match actually works if you'd like to be interested in getting started. All right, so we're going to go over just some basics of this range here. So you'll notice these cones or this separation. When the range is hot, we do need ear and eye protection on at all times. If you follow me here, I'll show you. On a typical open to the public range day, your check-in station is going to be right here. So you want to check in with your range staff when you come here. When you're past this point, even when the range is cold, we do want eye protection on at all times, just in case. And I'll show you the coverings that we have. So down here, we do have seated bench positions. It is covered, so you can go ahead and set targets out. The range goes out to 100 yards. There is steel for pistol, for 22 for rifle, and you can set your own targets out up to 100 yards. Taking note of these lines on the floor, when the range is at a complete ceasefire, this yellow stripe that you see on the ground, we do not want to pass it. If you left anything on your bench, we do not touch any firearms. When the range is hot, you may approach and you may go to your bench and start shooting. You'll notice this red line. This red line will not be passed at any time when the range is hot. We only pass through there on a ceasefire when we're changing targets. Pretty typical protocol here, just to keep things safe. Now, just as another matter of range etiquette, I'm going to show you how we're going to bring firearms safely onto the range in accordance with their policies here. So here I have a rifle that is unloaded with the action locked open, but the most important thing, it is unloaded and it's in a case. In this circumstance, we would come through here. I would make sure if the range was hot at this time that I have my ear and eye protection on, checking in with the range safety officers, making sure I'm all set there. If I'm going to bring a firearm to the range, it's when it's hot, and I can have it in a case, but what we want to do is bring it up. And once I got checked in, let's say if I was shooting at this station, I would go ahead and you want to bring the case to the bench. Then we set the rifle down on the table, facing downrange. That's one of the two safe directions that we have here at the Provo Shooting Sports Complex. Then I can take my empty case and put this away. If you don't have a case, as long as the rifle is unloaded, the second safe direction is going to be barrel towards the sky. Reason being, if the barrel is facing down and something were to happen, we don't need any spalling or any frag or any pieces of jacket. So with the action open, and in this case I have an empty chamber indicator showing to all that this is unloaded. As it falls out, it's a little loose, but as long as your action's open and our barrel is pointed towards the sky, we can go ahead and safely bring it to the rifle rack, and you are free to set it down. And again, if you have any questions, go ahead and consult with the range safety staff. They're more than happy to help you out. All right, so the first stage is ungraded, and it's not for score, but it's going to be your 5 cider rounds. So you don't have to shoot them if you don't want to. It is strenuously encouraged, but you have 5 minutes to shoot 5 cider rounds to confirm 0 on your rifle. So obviously averaging 1 shot a minute really gives you time to get that feedback and to confirm your 0 just for that rifle, that ammunition, and the range conditions of that day. Once that is conducted and complete, then we move on to the first graded portion of the competition or the match, which is going to be your slow fire prone. So in this case, you can use your sling, you can wrap up tightly into your sling with your offhand, and it's going to be 10 minutes to shoot 10 shots. The most important thing to remember here is that we are doing single fire, so 1 round at a time. If you have a semi-automatic or magazine-fed rifle, we are doing 1 round at a time. And that is the prone, unsupported, only supported by your sling, which is optional if you want to wrap into it or not. The next phase is going to be the prone rapid fire, so you have 80 seconds to shoot 10 rounds. And in this case, there is going to be a reload that has to be incorporated within. So for example, if you have an M1 Garand, you're going to have 2 rounds. You can start with that and then load a clip of 8 rounds like I did. If you have some AR-15 derivative, you can do 2 and 8, 5 and 5, just there has to be some reload in between. And again, 80 seconds for those 10 shots with a reload incorporated. And for this one, you can also use the sling wrapped up into your arm. The last stage is going to be the standing portion, and that's going to be 10 minutes to do 10 shots standing. And again, this is going to be single fire, so 1 round at a time, 10 minutes to do the 10 best shots that you can do in the standing position. You may notice some of the stances that you're seeing may look unconventional if you're used to more defensive or modern or tactical shooting, and that's because they're wrapping up into their jackets and they're supporting their bone structure rather than their muscles to get the most stable standing position possible. For the standing portion, you must have a sling attached to the rifle, but you cannot wrap up into the sling. So it's just you with the rifle. And that will conclude the entire match. So you had 30 rounds total in 3 different stages that were recorded. And then you had those 5-sided rounds in the very beginning, which again are optional but strenuously encouraged. So in terms of scoring, you're not going to be scoring your own score sheet. You and your range partner, the guy on the other lane, is going to score each other's score sheets and targets. In the case of today, we do have the modern high-speed electronic targets, which can sense where that round landed and it already generates your score. If you're using actual paper targets, you're going to grade each other's paper targets and score. Basically, if you're in the black and in that central ring, you know, the thing that I would impress upon you that matters most is we want a tight group, but we also want that group centrally located in the center of the black. You'll notice the X ring in the center, and that X ring is to be used as a tiebreaker. There's 300 possible points for the entire thing, 100 points per stage. So if 2 shooters were to have 200 and they were tied, then it would come down to how many X's each shooter had. All right, so in terms of the pins and the medallions, there's different pins you can earn from bronze, silver, gold. That's really going to break down to your overall score based on the rifle type that you were shooting. Of course, you have M1 Garand, you have modern military, which is a lot of where your AR-15 derivatives are going to come to. Today we actually had Jim. He's our oldest shooter, came out with his M1 carbine. We also had a 1903. So these are different classifications, and just depending where you score, you can be in the running to earn one of those pins. Well, we'd like to thank you today for watching this video, joining us here at the beautiful Provo Sports Shooting Park. You can find more information, hours, and everything you need at provo.gov, and they'll have a tab on there for it. But it was just a great time shooting with all the competitors today. The culture here, for those who have never been here or those who would like to start shooting in these types of competitions and do these matches, the culture is very supportive. The guys are very friendly. Definitely they're down to help teach you and show you some of their tricks and help guide you. And as you could see that I was shooting today, I didn't have any special equipment. You don't need to invest all that money into a national match rifle or a shooting jacket or all the other stuff you may have seen today. Really, you just need a service rifle and just be ready to have some fun. So thank you guys for watching and hope you enjoyed.